and this ain't financial advice. Good afternoon, Cardano champions. How the heck are we doing? Seatbelts. So folks, you know, I was talking to a good friend of mine. He is a trader, and he is saying that Cardano is charging up, poised for a breakout. I think if we get this Plutus application backend and we get Sunday Swap to launch a DEX that allows us access to the ecosystem, we will be looking at some kind of breakout from a fundamental standpoint. Sorry, waiting for a car to pass me. So Cardano is in an interesting place, but the whole cryptocurrency market is in the interesting place. You know, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, a lot of these coins have been bought up recently, and it brings up the question of the cycle, the cryptocurrency cycle, and how long it lasts, and how some people would say it was ending in September, yet here we are, just recently breaching all-time highs with Bitcoin. And you say to yourself, how do these people know so well when the cycle ends and begins? Well, the truth of the matter is that they do not know. The cycle could last a long, long time because we're entering into a man discovers fire moment in the world with cryptocurrency, whether people realize that or they don't realize that. And it's going to take a certain amount of time for all of mankind to realize that. That could take years. That's why I say it's early days here. So my thought is, in an ultra bullish scenario, because you know me, Cardano bull for life, steak with nerd, I would say there's a possibility, one, that this goes mainstream, the hodlers hodl, and we make it to 2024, Bitcoin cuts in half, the market doesn't take that drastic dip that it's historically taken, and the people who held through the FUD, the people who held through the adversity, the people who held and put down on the things that they believed in and stuck to their own fundamentals will be rewarded vastly. That's a bull case scenario. A bear case scenario for me, Wallace Inc., Scott Wallace, is after December, February, January, we crash. But that's probably not going to be as bad as former crashes. I just think there's too many wallets. Cardano has 2 million wallets, by the way. Hydra is releasing, hopefully in the next 3 to 6 months. I don't know. You know, things get delayed, so I'll add another 3 months on there. So what I'm saying is that if things do crash in January, February, March, I don't think they'll crash as hard as they historically have to the 80%. It could happen. Don't ever discount that. It could happen. But there's just so many more people in crypto that have just held. There's people from 2017 who bought the top of Bitcoin at 20,000 who still are holding and are still massively in profit. Do the math. 2018, Bitcoin hit 21 grand. 2021, 3 years later, you have 60 grand if you bought one Bitcoin. Well, that is 100% per year. I don't know any other business that's giving 100% per year. I don't know any other mutual fund that's doing 100% per year. There's rare stocks that do that, okay? But when things crash up, things crash down. So you must always be aware of that. But it pains me. It pains the Wallace man. It pains the Wallace man when you see people claim to know when things start and when things stop, because this thing is all speculative. Okay? That's like saying you know the day when you die. Nobody knows the day when they die. It's all in God's hands, for God's sake. So here we are. Didn't mean to take the Lord's name in vain. Okay, so Catholic schoolboy. So here we are going through unprecedented times. Cardano has been suppressed. I believe that there is a mainstream media narrative about Cardano. I was on some other YouTube channel, and it was interesting. Like, it was like it's like they wouldn't say Cardano. It's like it was a bad word. It was like they were like, don't say Cardano. Like, you could just tell. They're like, it was like the altcoins that could go parabolic. And they were talking about Ethereum, they were talking about Solana, they were talking about Bitcoin. Oh, they didn't talk about Bitcoin. Bitcoin's not an altcoin, but they did talk about Bitcoin. They're talking about everything but Cardano. Like, they wouldn't mention it. They wouldn't say good things or bad things because they're scared. They're scared, or deep down they believe that Cardano will be an insane rug that sweeps under tens of billions of dollars. But I don't think it's the latter. I just don't. There's too many people, too many credible people involved in this project, and there's been too much hard work, and it would just be, it's almost implausible to me. It's not impossible, but it seems implausible. So here we are, once again, at the forefront of crypto markets. I think the ultra bull case scenario, we make it to 2024, we'll probably see a dip. You know, a lot of times people will, that right before the Bitcoin halving, a lot of times they'll get pumped up right before, and then they'll sell it the day it halves. But then within a year, there's a supply shortage on exchanges. People can't get Bitcoin anymore, and that ramps the price up. What does that do to the little alts? What does it do to the big alts? What does it do to the blue chip cryptos like Ethereum, Cardano? You know, I saw something, it was a great meme today. It was like crypto before, and it was a guy who's like, we have solved the Byzantine general's dilemma and created a decentralized currency. Cryptocurrency now. Dogcoin. And it was a guy putting a triangle in a square. Dogcoin. So, you know, crypto is all over the place. People like things that they can understand, and there's a lot of misunderstanding in crypto, and certain people in the industry, they recognize that, don't think they don't recognize that, and they play on the misunderstanding by misinforming people about what crypto is. Now, let me talk about something I saw on Anthony Pompliano's channel and BitBoy Crypto. They were going at it. Bop, bop, bop. I say boxing match. Boxing match down below. BitBoy Crypto, Anthony Pompliano. Who wins? Tell me who wins the fight. So, because boxing is the only way people solve things on YouTube, okay? That's the only way. So, they were screaming at each other about the thumbnails. Let me address my thumbnails first, because I have been a salacious little thumbnail maker, and I know it's upset some people, and quite frankly, I don't really care. Look, this is YouTube, okay? We're in the game of clicks, okay? And every YouTuber tries to sensationalize their own headlines. Now, me, I take more of an entertainment stance, okay? I don't sit here and tell you I'm some professional financial advisor. I'm just a dude with an opinion about crypto on the internet, okay? I'm not over here trying to Mr. Astute Trader guy. I don't really trade. I make very few trades, actually. But they were complaining about, like, you said this, you said that, he said, she said, who cares, right? But the thumbnails that BitBoy has posted, and I can even say the thumbnails that I posted, have been a little misleading. But it's YouTube, okay? It's like the New York Times. Watch the video, or not the New York Times, well, the New York Times too, the New York Post. Watch the video and see the contents within it, okay? Now, I'm not a huge subscriber to BitBoy Crypto. I don't really care. Yes, he does his little salacious clickbaity thumbnails. I do them too, okay? I still do them. My format for my thumbnails has changed a little bit. And Anthony Pompliano has done them too. I haven't gone into all the logistics of who said what said. I really don't care, okay? The fact of the matter is that everyone on YouTube, whether it's Graham Stephan or Meet Kevin, they post things that are somewhat misleading, okay? But it's just a headline. If you're such a simp that you believe what the headline wrote as the main content or meat of the article, like, you shouldn't even, you should seriously contact a professional financial advisor. That's what I would recommend to you, okay? Take it for what it's worth. Take it with a grain of salt. It's like when you see a movie premiere, it's like the blockbuster of the century, and it, you know, it's not, okay? Or things get hyped up. Hype sells. Okay, recognize that, understand that, and accept it for what it's worth. Okay, hype sells. You know, if I sat here and just tried to sell you white bread, no one would click on anything. Okay, it's like the click-through rate for YouTube is a big deal. It's how the algorithm works. Okay, so if you can get like a 10% plus click-through rate, it's like really good. If you're getting like a 1% click-through rate, you're putting all this time, energy, and everything into it, and you're making no money. People can't continue to do YouTube. So therefore, they do things to get you to click on. It's just business sense, okay? It's mildly, I hate to say this, but a lot of businesses do things where it's like, you gotta read the fine print, okay? I'm not saying that's good. I'm not saying you should deceive people, but you know what? Like, the food at McDonald's never looks like the food in the commercials. Is probably the best analogy I can give you. I don't stop going to McDonald's, okay? But I know what I'm getting when I go. I don't sit there and show a picture of the burger in the commercial. You didn't give me that! It is what it is. If you don't like it, stop going to McDonald's and stop clicking on the videos that say 1,000x. Woo! Okay? It's for clicks, guys. It is what it is. Okay? The many businesses, I'm not going to go into other outside of crypto businesses and bash anyone, but it's unfortunately the world that we live in. Hype sells, salacious thumbnails sell, controversy sells, and that's what people click on. People click on negative things, okay? Does it make that YouTuber inherently negative? Not necessarily. Folks, check it out right here. Wanted to share this little image with you, the Maryland State House. So, I hope no one takes anything too seriously. You know, at the end of the day, we all have to live and die by our own choices and our own personal discretion in these markets, okay? Some people, like myself, diversify. If I'm going into something more risky, I do less of my money in that. And if I was to do more, you have to be accepting. So you wouldn't like want to throw, I wouldn't want to throw 100 grand into something that I thought, oh, this could go to zero. Like, I wouldn't put 100 grand into Squid Games. Okay. No, I wouldn't go into Squid Games anyway, just out of sheer principle. But if I was, I wouldn't throw more than $1,000 at it. Like, because the risk is so high. And those same fundamental principles of investing still apply here on YouTube. Okay? 1, don't believe everything you see. 2, if the risk is high, the reward is high. If the risk is low, the reward is low. It's just how it goes. It's how it's always been. Those are the facts. Folks, appreciate you being here. Appreciate you clicking the like, staking with Nerd. Follow me on the tube, and if I don't see you, I'll see you on the internet. I'm out.
Stake with Nerd.